down here at Poudre Falls, cache la Poudre, cache la Poudre River. It's a little hairy getting down here. Pretty sandy, steep terrain. This way. I'm gonna check it out just for you guys. All right, risking my life as I do. It's for that epic footage. It's pretty spectacular though. A lot of water. Check this out. I'm chilling. I want to go rafting out there. Really cool spot for a picnic or something. Oh my god. It's rushing. There's white water everywhere. Foam. Made it this far. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Therapy for my little sprained ankle. That's how I consider it. Oh, this is definitely slippy. Slippy. You wanna make it? slide too far anyway. Little metal cable down there. Looks like some nice dippings right there. Feels pretty chilly. Okay. Better spot was found, I guess. You think so, huh? Found water. Safer. Safer. Said anything about safer? Oh. Yeah. Some snow melt. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like needles in your feet almost.
Nice spot.
Yeah.
She come and join with your camera.
Huh?
I'll get this back. That's better.
You like this spot? Perfect. Just perfect. Alright. Whew. Yeah. That would be pretty refreshing. Jumping in that bad boy. Pretty invigorating. Poudre Falls. Well, it was short-lived, but beautiful. I'm an expert mountain goat. Don't you know? Pretty cool spot. I know. We're the only ones here right now. Isn't that weird? Everybody's in such a hurry these days. Alright, time to get some food on. Starving. Thirsty too. Thirsty, where's the water? Woo. Pretty invigorating. Those, Le Poudre. Is that how you pronounce it? Powder. Powder cache. 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 Le Poudre. Now they just call it the Poudre. Degeneracy, I tell you. The Poudre. So it's got nothing to do with the Spanish gold cache of the Padres.
You would think so, but I mean, it sounds really.
Have to look at that history when I get home.
The French name, but that's something new.
Right. Cache Le Poudre. Oh, some Frenchmen. I know they had they did the logging. They'd roll the trees down the river. So maybe that was the cache. And I'm sure they had some, if I can remember anything, some mining stuff going on. History. Just in one ear and out the next. But it's pretty. And that's all that matters, right guys? Door's locked. Send it. Alright, after I got back home from this trip, I did a little bit of research online and pulled from several different websites to get a pretty good idea of the origin of the name Cache La Poudre. So according to the Fort Collins Local History Archive, there have been several names for the Cache La Poudre River. The earliest name was Pateros Creek, when Major Stephen H. Long reported on his 1820 expedition to the Rocky Mountains. He referred to what is thought to be the Cache La Poudre River as Pateros Creek. He said it was named Pateros Creek from a, quote, Frenchman who was said to have been bewildered upon it, wandering about 20 days, almost without food. He was found by a band of Kiowas, Native Americans, who frequented this part of the country, and restored to his companions, a party of hunters camping at the time on the Arkansas. And that was from the 1936 Fort Collins Express Courier. A similar story was told to the son of an early settler named Simon Duncan. Duncan relates this story in his book Early Memories of the Cache La Poudre. He said that an old fur trader who was a friend of his father's told him that he had camped in a dugout the winter of 1839 to 1840, just north of Greeley. He said when he first camped there at an earlier date, it was called Petit Creek, or Piteous in French, Because a party of trappers had left a young man camped there to look after the trap line, he became insane due to his isolation and wandered about until his clothes were torn to shreds, his hands and his feet frosted, and when found, in a very pitiful condition. The trappers were so moved that the name was given to the creek to express their feelings. In 1949, the Fort Collins Pioneer Association had a guest speaker, John Kalhoff, an Indian historian from the Sioux Indian Museum in Rapid City, South Dakota. He told of the days when his grandparents, members of the Ki-Ya-Ksa Indian band Sioux, lived in the Fort Collins area and called the river Mini-Lazahan, which means swift current. Abner Loomis told his story in 1883 in the Fort Collins Courier. He related that Antoine Janus told him that it was in November of 1836 that a large party of trappers and employees in service of the American Fur Company, while on their way from St. Louis to Green River, Wyoming, camped near the present site of Bellevue. Antoine Janus, then a boy of 12, was with his father Antoine, who was the captain of the caravan. During the night, a heavy snowstorm, which continued for several days, set in and prevented travel. When the snow abated, the order was given by the wagon boss to lighten the heavily loaded wagons and continue the journey. A large, deep, cellar-like pit was dug, and in it were placed all the goods which could be spared. The pit was then carefully filled, a pile of brush placed on it and burned, to make it have the appearance of an old campsite, and thus deceive any Indians from thieving intentions. The wagon train went on and reached its destination safely. Later in the season, some of the teams returned, reopened the pit, reloaded the goods that had been safely cached, and departed without loss of a single pound of freight. A large percentage of the cache was powder, gunpowder, that is, and hence the name cache la poudre, the French phrase signifying, quote, where powder was hidden. And that story was from Ansel Waltrus, History of Larimer County, 1911. However, there was no known American fur trade expedition in this area in 1836, and in a letter dated March 17, 1883, Antoine Janus states that he first came to Colorado in 1844. Additionally, Colonel Henry Dodge stated in his diary that his expedition, quote, passed the mouth of the Cache de la Poudre in 1835. Some historians believe that Janus was really referring to William Ashley's, for Ashley had a similar story of a snowstorm near Bellevue, and he said, quote, after fortifying his camp, he proceeded into the mountains and ultimately to the Green River. So it's a little bit up for debate, but we have a pretty good idea that it means, that French phrase, where the powder was hidden. So history can get a little bit confusing, a little bit murky sometimes, especially back in the early settler days when, the standard form of communication was pencil on a paper. Man, things have changed, haven't they? Now we can send out a tweet and the whole world can see what we have to say. A little frightening if you think about it.
like a beach lizard.